A Washington, D.C. public school teacher says she was denied maternity leave last year after a pregnancy loss. On December 1st, after 48 hours of labor, Elizabeth O'Donnell's daughter, Aaliyah, came into this world stillborn. Days later, O'Donnell says her public school system denied her her pre-planned 8 weeks of maternity leave because she couldn't provide a birth certificate. She says she needs time to recover and has been on sick leave since January. Elizabeth O'Donnell joins me now. Elizabeth, first of all, I want to express my condolences on the loss of your daughter. For so long, our society has been largely silent on miscarriages and pregnancy-related tragedies like yours. Thank you for publicly sharing your story with all of us.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
If you could, though, please tell us about the moment that everything changed for you.
So it was the weekend after Thanksgiving. I had just come back to DC from visiting my family in Jersey, and I was decorating my house for Christmas, and I realized that I hadn't felt her move all day. And so I texted my doula just thinking I was freaking out over nothing. She told me to, go to the hospital, to the midwives, and they'll do a quick check. And the hospital assured me I would only be there for about 15 minutes. They would do a check and I could go. And, I found out and I was, admitted. And so it was shock at first. I didn't have an emotional reaction because I just couldn't really comprehend what was being said to me. And then I just, I had to be there and do everything that every woman needs to do when it's time to have a baby. And here I am today.
And given how far along you were in your pregnancy, you actually had to go through 48 hours of labor and surgery. And we see that picture of you holding your daughter. How did you then learn that you would not receive the maternity leave that you had previously arranged with your school?
So I emailed, the leave of absence office had been made aware of my situation. And about a week later, I emailed, just saying that my situation had changed and I had been previously approved to be out for the remainder of the school year because after the 8 paid week leave, I had enough sick leave to take it through the rest of the school year. And so I had said, I will not be taking all of that leave. I will be taking the 8 weeks for postpartum recovery, and then I will return. And so when the response was that I was no longer eligible for that leave, I at first thought maybe there had been some confusion. And so I restated, I did give birth. The outcome was not what anyone would want. So I'm taking leave for my physical recovery. And it was still met with, nope, you're not eligible anymore. And so, I thought that I was reading the law incorrectly. And so then I consulted a lawyer who, the way it's written, it should cover me. And, that's kind of where we still are now.
And your lawyer said that you should be covered because you actually labored and delivered. Is that right?
Yes. So the way that the paid family leave is written is birth or placement of a child. And it does not state whether or not that child is living. It does not state that the purpose of leave is for bonding only. And so that has been kind of my argument here is, well, the way the leave is written, it does not say bonding only. It does not say birth of a live child. And so therefore, I believe I am still eligible for the leave because I did birth a child, and that is what it says in the paid family leave law.
And Elizabeth, since you've gone public with your story, scores of people have reached out to you in support, but there are others who hear your story and may feel like you should be provided with time to heal, but that parental leave, maternity leave, does not apply in this situation. How do you respond?
I absolutely respect everybody's opinion. And I knew, going public with this, that of course people are going to disagree. And I have no problem with that. What I will say is that I don't think it's fair that some agencies read this paid family leave law and will still grant the leave in the case of a stillbirth, and other agencies in DC do not. And that is where, there's confusion, right? And so if we need to work on maybe writing it a bit better, then that's what needs to be done. If I worked for someone else in DC, I could very well have gotten the leave. And that's where, whether you think I should get the leave or not is totally, we all have our own opinions. That's fine. But if some people are getting it and some people aren't, then there's a problem here. If the law was written to say bonding only, then okay, I am not eligible for that. But it doesn't say that. And so that's where, we need to be having conversations and asking questions so that it's very clear to all. And most importantly for me moving forward, so that this never happens again to another woman after experiencing such a traumatic situation.
Mayor Muriel Bowser did actually respond to your situation by signing a bill on March 2nd that automatically gives district employees 2 weeks of leave if they lose a child. Do you believe that this is sufficient? And do you think that there should be a difference in policy for government employees versus private employees?
So, for me, I have not spoken about the mental health aspect of this. My original posting, everything I have said has been based off of the physical recovery a woman needs after giving birth. Bereavement is for the mental health side. And so I think that it is huge for DC to be taking this step to increase leave days after loss of a child. But I was not speaking about bereavement time at all in my original posting. And so I'm sticking with that. Yes, it is very important. And I am so grateful that, my story was able to now, for so many other families, will be able to have the leave that they deserve after losing a child. That is very important. But I need to stay true to my original feelings here. And that's my stance on how this paid family leave law is written in DC.
Well, it has certainly prompted a lot of conversations that were not being had before. My heart goes out to you, Elizabeth, and to your family. We all wish you just the very best. Thank you.
Thank you.
And DC Public Schools has just provided this comment. Deputy Mayor for Education Paul Kynes has said, quote, "Our hearts continue to go out to Ms. O'Donnell after the loss of her daughter. Recently, Mayor Bowser worked with a council to pass legislation to provide district employees, including DCPS teachers, with expanded paid leave to grieve the devastating loss of a minor child or stillbirth."